Imagine this. You swing your legs over the side of the bed, same as every morning, and the moment your feet touch the floor, something is wrong. Not pain exactly, worse. A crawling electric hum beneath the skin, like your feet fell asleep and never fully woke up. You shuffle to the bathroom, gripping the wall because the floor feels uncertain, unreliable, like walking on a surface you cannot quite trust. And the burning, that low, stubborn fire across the soles, it followed you into your dreams last night, and it is waiting for you again right now. If that sounds familiar, stay right here. Because today we are walking through 6 specific exercises designed to fight back against peripheral neuropathy in the feet and legs. These are not vague suggestions. These are targeted, practical movements backed by research, used by physical therapists, and safe enough to do in your own living room starting today. Some of them take less than 2 minutes. And for a lot of people over 60, they have been the difference between dreading every step and actually trusting their own 2 feet again. Let us get into it. So, what exactly is going on inside your body when neuropathy hits? Here is the simple version. You have a massive network of nerves that runs from your spinal cord all the way down into your toes. Think of them like electrical wiring in a house. Peripheral neuropathy means that wiring has been damaged. The signals traveling between your brain and your extremities get scrambled, weakened, or sometimes they just stop arriving altogether. That is where the tingling comes from. The numbness. That bizarre sensation of wearing socks when your feet are bare. The burning that no ice pack seems to reach. Now here is something most people do not realize. Neuropathy affects roughly 20 million Americans, and the risk climbs sharply after age 60. Diabetes is the most common cause, but it is far from the only one. Chemotherapy, vitamin deficiencies, autoimmune conditions, circulation problems, even years of moderate alcohol use, all of these can quietly damage peripheral nerves over time. And because the symptoms creep in gradually, a lot of folks dismiss them for months or even years before they take action. Here is the part that matters most. Nerve damage can be slowed. In many cases, symptoms can be significantly reduced. And one of the most effective, most accessible tools available is something you do not need a prescription for. You do not need expensive equipment. You need consistent, targeted exercise. Movement increases blood flow to damaged nerves. It stimulates nerve regeneration. It strengthens the small, stabilizing muscles in your feet and ankles that keep you balanced and upright. And it reduces the inflammatory chemicals circulating in your body that make neuropathy worse. Every single exercise we cover today addresses at least one of those mechanisms directly. Before we start, a quick but important note. If you have severe neuropathy, open wounds on your feet, or a condition that affects your balance significantly, talk with your doctor or physical therapist before trying these. Safety always comes first. For most people with mild to moderate symptoms, though, these movements are gentle, low impact, and completely manageable. Ready? Let us start from the ground up, literally. Exercise 1. Toe curls and spreads. The first exercise targets the smallest, most neglected muscles in your body, the intrinsic muscles of the foot. These are the tiny stabilizers tucked between your metatarsals, the long bones that fan out toward your toes. When neuropathy sets in, these muscles are often the first to weaken because the nerves supplying them are the longest and most vulnerable in your entire body. They deteriorate quietly, and one day you notice your balance is off, your toes feel clumsy, or your arch has flattened in a way it never used to. Toe curls and spreads wake those muscles back up. Here is how you do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor, barefoot. Start with curls. Slowly scrunch all 5 toes downward like you are trying to grip the floor with them. Hold that squeeze for a full 5 seconds. You should feel the effort across the sole and through the arch. Then release. Next, spread your toes apart as wide as they will go. Imagine you are trying to create space between each one. Hold for 5 seconds. Release. That is 1 full repetition. Aim for 10 repetitions, 2 to 3 times per day. Now this might feel awkward at first. Your toes might barely move, especially if numbness has been present for a while. That is completely normal. The neural pathway between your brain and those small muscles has weakened, and you are essentially rebuilding it. Within 2 to 3 weeks of daily practice, most people notice a meaningful difference in toe dexterity and foot sensation. Some describe it as the feeling slowly coming back online, like a radio signal getting clearer. A helpful trick: place a thin hand towel flat on the floor and practice scrunching it toward you using only your toes. It gives your brain a tangible goal and makes the exercise a little more engaging. Exercise 2. Ankle circles. Exercise number 2 is ankle circles, and they matter more than most people think. Your ankle joint is a crossroads. Major nerves, blood vessels, and tendons all pass through a very tight space to reach your foot. When circulation slows down or inflammation builds around that joint, both extremely common in neuropathy, it creates a bottleneck. Less blood reaches the nerves below. Symptoms intensify. Stiffness sets in, and stiffness breeds more stiffness. Ankle circles break that cycle. Sit comfortably and lift one foot slightly off the ground. Slowly rotate your ankle in a full circle, leading with your big toe. Move deliberately. This is not about speed. Complete 10 circles clockwise, then 10 counterclockwise. Switch feet and repeat. Pay attention to where the circle feels rough, sticky, or limited. Those spots indicate tightness or restricted mobility, and they often correspond exactly to where your symptoms are worst. Over time, as the movement smooths out, many people report a noticeable reduction in burning and tingling below the ankle. You can do this exercise anywhere: watching television, sitting at the kitchen table, waiting in a doctor's office. 3 sets per day is ideal, but even 1 set daily produces measurable improvement in ankle mobility and downstream circulation within a few weeks. If you have been finding value in what we have covered so far, take a second and hit that subscribe button. We put out content like this regularly, focused entirely on practical health strategies for people over 60. One click keeps you in the loop. Exercise 3. Calf raises. Now we move into something a little more active. Calf raises. Your calf muscles, the gastrocnemius and the soleus, act as a secondary pump for your circulatory system. Every time they contract, they physically squeeze the veins in your lower leg and push blood back up toward your heart. Medical professionals sometimes call this the calf muscle pump, and in people over 60, its efficiency drops significantly due to reduced muscle mass, more sedentary habits, and vascular changes associated with aging. When that pump weakens, blood pools in the lower extremities. Nerves that are already damaged get even less oxygen and fewer nutrients. Symptoms worsen. Calf raises restore that pumping action. Stand behind a sturdy chair and hold the backrest with both hands for balance. Your feet should be hip-width apart, toes pointing forward. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. Hold at the top for 2 to 3 seconds. Then lower back down with control. Do not just drop. That slow lowering phase, the eccentric portion, is where much of the strengthening happens. Start with 10 repetitions, rest for 30 seconds, repeat for a second set. As your strength builds over the coming weeks, work toward 3 sets of 15. A few important details. Keep your core gently engaged so you are not swaying. Breathe steadily. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. And if standing calf raises feel too challenging initially, you can do them seated. Sit in your chair, place your feet flat, and press up through the balls of your feet, lifting your heels off the ground. Seated calf raises reduce the load substantially while still activating that critical muscle pump. Many seniors who add this single exercise to their daily routine notice their feet feel warmer in the evenings. That warmth is not imaginary. It is increased perfusion, fresh blood actually reaching tissues that were being starved. We are halfway through our 6 exercises, and I want to pause here for just a moment. If you are over 60, or if you are caring for an elderly parent, spouse, or loved one dealing with neuropathy, this information could genuinely change their daily quality of life. Neuropathy is one of those conditions that people learn to just endure. They stop mentioning it. They quietly adjust. They stop walking as far. They avoid stairs. They sit more. And slowly, gradually, their world shrinks. It does not have to go that way. Share this video with someone who needs it. Drop it in a family group chat. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for someone you love is hand them a tool they did not know existed. All right, let us keep going. Exercise 4. Heel to toe. Walking exercise. 4 shifts our focus to balance and proprioception, your body's ability to sense where it is in space without looking. Neuropathy devastates proprioception because the sensory nerves in your feet that constantly report position, pressure, and terrain back to your brain are precisely the ones being damaged. When those signals degrade, your balance suffers. Falls become a real and serious risk. According to the Centers for Disease Control, 1 in 4 Americans over 65 falls each year, and compromised foot sensation is one of the leading contributing factors. Heel-to-toe walking directly retrains that balance system. Find a clear hallway or a stretch of open floor near a wall or countertop you can reach if needed. Stand tall, shoulders relaxed. Step forward with your right foot, placing the heel directly in front of the toes of your left foot, as though you are walking along a tightrope. Then bring your left foot forward the same way, heel meeting toes. Continue for 15 to 20 steps. Turn around and come back. This will feel wobbly. Your arms might flail. You may need to touch the wall several times during your first few attempts. All of that is perfectly fine and completely expected. Your brain is being forced to process balance information from degraded sensory input, and that challenge is exactly what stimulates adaptation. Neural pathways that have gone dormant begin firing again. The vestibular system recalibrates. Stabilizing muscles in the foot, ankle, and hip engage in ways that normal walking simply does not demand. Practice this twice daily. Within a month, most people find that their general walking confidence improves noticeably, not just during the exercise, but throughout their regular day. Uneven sidewalks feel less threatening. Getting up at night to use the bathroom feels less precarious. That restored confidence alone can transform someone's relationship with movement. Exercise 5. Seated marble pickups. This 5th exercise might sound a little playful, and honestly, that is part of why it works so well. Seated marble pickups. Sit in a chair with a small bowl and 10 to 15 marbles scattered on the floor in front of you. Using only your toes, no cheating with your hands, pick up 1 marble at a time and place it in the bowl. Work through all the marbles with 1 foot, then switch to the other. What is actually happening here is sophisticated neuromuscular retraining disguised as a simple game. Each time you attempt to grasp a marble, your brain sends a motor signal down to the intrinsic foot muscles. Simultaneously, the sensory nerves in your toes send feedback about the marble's shape, texture, temperature, and position. That two-way communication loop, motor command going out, sensory feedback coming back, is precisely the loop that neuropathy disrupts. By practicing it repeatedly under controlled conditions, you are strengthening both directions of that neural conversation. No marbles at home? Small stones from the garden work. So do large buttons, bottle caps, or even crumpled up pieces of paper. The object does not matter nearly as much as the act of grasping, lifting, and placing with deliberate toe control. People often laugh the first time they try this. Their toes refuse to cooperate. Marbles shoot across the floor. It feels ridiculous, but 3 weeks later those same toes are gripping with purpose, and the numbness that once felt permanent has softened at its edges. The brain is remarkably plastic. Even at 70, even at 80, it responds to demand. You just have to make the demand. Exercise 6. Gentle hamstring and calf stretches. Our 6th and final exercise is a stretching sequence targeting the hamstrings and calves, and it addresses a factor in neuropathy that often gets overlooked: nerve tension. Your sciatic nerve runs from your lower back, through your glute, down the back of your thigh, behind your knee, and branches into the tibial and peroneal nerves that serve your entire lower leg and foot. That is a long path. When the muscles surrounding that path become chronically tight, and they almost always do in people who sit for extended periods, they compress the nerve. Not dramatically, not enough to cause a disc herniation level crisis, but enough to subtly reduce blood flow within the nerve itself. Enough to amplify tingling. enough to make burning worse at night when muscles cool and tighten further. Gentle stretching releases that compression. For the hamstring stretch, sit on the edge of a firm chair. Extend one leg straight out in front of you with the heel on the floor and toes pointing up. Keep your back tall. Do not round forward from the shoulders. Instead, hinge gently at the hips, leaning your torso forward until you feel a mild stretch along the back of your extended thigh. Mild, not aggressive, not painful. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing slowly and deeply. Switch legs. Repeat twice per side. For the calf stretch, stand facing a wall with both palms flat against it at shoulder height. Step 1 foot back about 2 feet, keeping that back heel pressed firmly into the ground and the back knee straight. Lean your hips forward gently until you feel a stretch through the calf of the back leg. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Switch sides, 2 repetitions each. These stretches are best performed after the other exercises when your muscles are warm or in the evening before bed. Many people with neuropathy report that their nighttime symptoms, that restless, burning discomfort that makes sleep difficult, decrease substantially when they stretch consistently in the final hour before lying down. The mechanism is straightforward. Reduced muscle tension means reduced nerve compression, means fewer distress signals traveling up to the brain. So there they are. 6 exercises, each targeting a different piece of the neuropathy puzzle. Toe curls and spreads rebuild intrinsic foot strength and reactivate dormant neural pathways. Ankle circles restore joint mobility and improve circulation through a critical bottleneck. Calf raises power your body's natural venous pump, delivering fresh blood to oxygen-starved nerves. Heel-to-toe walking retrains proprioception and balance, reducing fall risk and restoring walking confidence. Marble pickups sharpen the sensory motor feedback loop between your brain and your toes, and gentle stretching releases nerve tension that silently amplifies every other symptom. Together as a daily routine, these 6 movements take roughly 15 to 20 minutes. That is it, 15 minutes out of a 24-hour day. Consistency matters far more than intensity here. Doing these gently every single day will outperform doing them aggressively twice a week by a wide margin. Nerves heal slowly. We are talking millimeters per day, but they do heal when given the right environment. Adequate blood flow, reduced inflammation, regular stimulation. That is what this routine provides. Keep a simple log if it helps. A notebook by your chair, a check mark for each day completed. After 30 days, look back and honestly assess your symptoms compared to when you started. Most people are genuinely surprised by how much ground they have gained. A few additional suggestions that support everything we have covered today. Check your feet daily. Neuropathy reduces sensation, which means cuts, blisters, and pressure sores can develop without you feeling them. A quick visual inspection every evening catches small problems before they become serious ones. Keep your blood sugar managed if you are diabetic. Elevated glucose is the single most damaging ongoing insult to peripheral nerves. Even modest improvements in blood sugar control slow nerve deterioration measurably. Talk with your doctor about vitamin B12 levels. Deficiency is remarkably common in older adults, particularly those taking metformin or proton pump inhibitors, and it directly causes peripheral neuropathy. A simple blood test can identify it, and supplementation often produces noticeable improvement within weeks. Stay hydrated. Dehydration thickens blood, slows circulation, and concentrates inflammatory compounds, all bad news for compromised nerves. Keep water accessible throughout the day. Room temperature is fine. Add lemon if plain water bores you. And wear proper footwear. Shoes with good arch support, a wide toe box, and non-slip soles protect numb feet from injuries you might not feel and provide the stable platform your balance system needs. Neuropathy tries to convince you that shrinking your life is the only option. Fewer walks, fewer errands, fewer visits to the grandkids because the driveway feels uncertain and the front steps feel treacherous. It whispers that the burning and numbness are just something you have to accept. They are not. Your nervous system is not a static thing. It responds, adapts, and rebuilds at every age. The exercises we covered today are your daily argument against decline. 15 minutes of intentional movement, telling your body that you are not done, that your feet still have places to carry you. That sensation and strength and steadiness are still worth fighting for. Start today, not tomorrow, not Monday. Roll a chair into the living room this evening, kick off your shoes, and curl those toes against the hardwood. Feel the floor. Remind your feet what the ground actually is. You have more power over this than anyone has told you. If this video helped you, or if you think it could help someone you love, hit subscribe so you never miss the next one. Share it with a friend, a parent, a neighbor dealing with the same frustrations, and drop a comment below telling me which exercise you are going to try first. I read every single one, and your experience might be the exact encouragement another person in this community needs to hear. Take care of yourself. You are worth the effort.